Look to your left, look to your right, look to your right. I'll try that again. Look to your left, look to your right. One of those people is Gary's kids. Probably the case. All right, you guys ready for next act? The last act of the first bracket. Start making some noise. Make some noise for Yoav Tourel.
Sorry, I'm not used to this type of audience. You see, I do stand-up comedy for toddlers, 3 to 5 years old, for real. I started at my kids' daycare, that's in Randwick, a few years back, and rumors spread that I have now quite a few daycares. I'm not bragging about it. I'm not saying that I'm sort of a Michael Jackson to these young innocent souls, but I found my niche. I usually perform after their afternoon nap. They just woke up, fresh like daisies, still yawning the little chooks. For many years, I don't know how they put kids to sleep in bulk in daycares. I have kids of my own, and I know how difficult it is. But it took me some time. But I think that they figured it out. They lower the oxygen. They take that will do the trick. So the way that it works is that the teacher announced me, and I'm walking in, and to get them excited, I'm starting with something like Rockdale Happy Feet. You make me hyperactive. And they immediately giggle. They like my accent. It reminded them that guy from Hotel Transylvania, Dracula, which is sort of like Borat for kids. and they see that they love my accent, so I continue to do my accent. You see, I'm good at it. And they just waiting to hear what's next. Pretty much like you guys now. Now, it's super important with kids because you have like 6 to 7 minutes of their attention span, so you need to be quick. It's like kind of a TED Talk, or as we call it in the daycare showbiz, a Teddy Talk. So to get it started and not kind of losing their attention, I'm starting with the top time, kind of the all-time favorite. Why did the banana go to the doctor? Because it wasn't peeling well. Why was number 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9 is standard. I throw a few jokes for the teachers, poor teachers. Finally, there's a few minutes of a break. So, Miss Moffat, how do you call a fish without an eye? A bit of a wing. Miss Rodriguez, how do you call 2 Mexicans playing basketball? Juan on Juan. And immediately I'm back to the kids. So knock knock, who's there? Europe who? No, Europe who? You need to be with me in the classroom. I own it. In these moments I really feel Avicii. Why I did what I did, because you can't replicate that feeling. If I have more adults in the audience, let's say they're 5 years old, I'm going with more mature material. Why did the skeleton didn't cross the road? Because it didn't have nuts. Few more jokes, but that's around it. They're losing their attention. The teacher are jumping into the ring, and my heart goes to the teachers. How they always say that kind of. They always give to hyperactive kids Ritalin. So just kind of listening to the previous kind of lady, the Dutch lady, I think what if you give to the teachers MDMA? That will balance it. Then we have the Q&A session. The Q&A session, there is really low correlation between the content, the question, and my answers. So they start to raise their hands. Yes, you. I'm going today to the swimming pool. Good on you. Yes, you. I'm going with my mom to Westfield. Excellent. Yes, you. My daddy is stronger than you. And I'm like, who's your daddy? And a bit of a wink to Miss Moffat. And And 8 times out of 10, it's always the same question. Why don't you have hair? And they start to guess. Maybe it's because that you had needs. Maybe your mommy did it to you. Kind of, but that's not the answer. And it was, I think it was in Marubra like 7 months ago, when a young kid, a small kid, she raised her hand, yes, here, and she said, maybe it's because that your dad didn't have hair, and your grandpa didn't have hair, and your uncle, maybe it runs in the family. And I looked at her and said, that's amazing. How old are you? 4. 4 years old, and she's looking with me, kind of at me with her big blue eyes, and she's waiting kind of for my answer, and everybody waits, and I'm looking at her and saying, no, it's cancer. Thank you very much.